Let us start with the next part of the chapter, coordination compounds. Today we will talk about bonding in coordination compounds. Bonding in coordination compounds can be explained with the help of valence bond theory. This theory was given by Linus Pauling. Let us first learn about the postulates. Number 1. Central metal atom or ion provides a number of vacant orbitals equal to coordination number. This is done to accommodate the lone pair of electrons given by ligands. Those vacant orbitals undergo hybridization to give rise to same number of hybrid orbitals of equal energy. Why they undergo hybridization? Because these orbitals must be of different types. Those may be d, p or d type. So these must undergo hybridization. When ligands approach the central metal atom, the vacant orbitals of metal overlap with the orbitals of ligands containing lone pair of electrons. Geometry of complex depend upon the type of hybridization. Like sp3 hybridization means tetrahedral shape or geometry, dsp2 square planar, sp3d trigonal bipyramidal, and sp3d2 or d2sp3 will be octahedral. sp3d2 means we have used outer d orbital, so these are called outer orbital or high spin complexes. If it is d2sp3 means we have used inner d orbital, so these are inner orbital or low spin complexes. Non-bonding electrons of metal remain unaffected and do not take part in bonding. During complex formation, Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity is followed. A complex is paramagnetic and colored if it contains one or more unpaired electrons. More the number of unpaired electrons, more will be the paramagnetism. Let us take examples now. First is COF6 minus 3. First, you have to calculate the oxidation number of cobalt. It comes to be plus 3. Coordination number as visible is 6. Let us write the electronic configuration of cobalt and cobalt plus 3. For cobalt, it is 4s2 3d7. In plus 3 state, it becomes 4s0. 2 electrons are removed from 4s and 1 from d. So, it becomes 3d6. Now, 6 ligands are there. So, we require 6 vacant orbitals. There are two possibilities. One is we use these 6 orbitals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, or these electrons pair up to vacant these 2 orbitals, but F being a weak ligand is not able to pair the electrons of cobalt. So in this case, this outer d orbital is being used. The hybridization will be sp3d2. So these are the 6 pairs of electrons donated by 6 fluoride ions. Now because the hybridization is sp3d2, so the geometry will be octahedral. Now here there are present 4 unpaired electrons, so the compound will be paramagnetic as well as colored. Let us take other example. FeCN6 4 negative. Again the same. Calculate the oxidation number of Fe. It comes to be plus 2. Let us write the electronic configuration of Fe as well as Fe plus 2. For Fe it is 4s2 3d6. Here it is one error, it should be 4x. This electron should not be there. It should be 4s2 3d6. In plus 2 state, 2s electrons will be removed, so it becomes d6 only. Now coordination number is 6. So we require 6 vacant orbitals. But Cn is a strong ligand. What it will do? It will pair the electrons. This electron will accommodated here and this electron will be accommodated here. So the 6 electrons of D will be accommodated like this and we get 2d vacant orbitals. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 vacant orbitals. So the hybridization becomes D2sp3 and these are the electrons of ligands. So again geometry octahedral, but here all the electrons are paired, so it will be diamagnetic as well as colorless. Next example, NiCO4. Procedure is same. Oxidation number of nickel will be 0. Coordination number is 4. So let us write the electronic configuration of nickel. This is the configuration of nickel 4s2 3d8. Oxidation number is 0. So it will remain as such. Now we require 4 vacant orbitals because of coordination number is 4. So this orbital has to be made vacant and CO is a strong ligand, so it will be able to pair the electrons. So one electron will go here and second electron will go here. So the arrangement of the electrons of nickel changes to this. It becomes 3d10. S becomes vacant. And now 1s and 3p. These 4 vacant orbitals undergo sp3 hybridization. So geometry will be tetrahedral. Electrons become paired, so it will be diamagnetic as well as colorless. Another example, NiCN4 2 negative. Oxidation number +2 and coordination number is 4. Yes, right. Let us write the electronic configuration of nickel and nickel +2. 4s2 3d8. In +2 state, 4s becomes vacant. So here it is Cn. Cn being a strong ligand, Cn is a strong ligand. It is able to pair the electrons of nickel. Here it should be N. Cn is a strong ligand, is able to pair up the electrons. So this electron shifts here. The arrangement of nickel electrons becomes D8. And now 1D, 1S, N2P undergo DsP2 hybridization. So the geometry becomes square planar and again the electrons are paired, so it is diamagnetic as well as colorless. Now the limitations of PBT does not provide quantitative interpretation of the stability of complexes. It doesn't tell which complex will be stable, which will be more stable, which will be less stable. Unable to interpret the absorption spectra of complexes means why the particular compound is colored or not. Unable to account for detailed magnetic properties of the complexes. Pairing of electrons is not explained properly. Why under strong ligand it gets paired? Doesn't make exact predictions regarding tetrahedral and square planar complexes. It fails to distinguish between weak and strong ligands. Thank you.